Illegal drug use. CS 1014. Carter Foster. Introduction. The states have a strong amount of drug use in it are Virginia, Tennessee, and Georgia. They are similar by the fact they are in the southern part of the East Coast. These states lay towards the southern part of the East Coast. How do they differ in amount of drug crime/use? Abstraction is the process of turning real-world entities and phenomena into data. In this project, I abstracted drugs into a list of a drug report, which one of these reports has a number of properties relevant to this project. Location name is a string property that represents the name of the area that the drugs approximately occur in, which is needed to filter the reports listed by the drugs locations that were interesting. Listed drugs is a dictionary property that is represented an amount of listed drugs are being used in these states that are represented in this project. Year is an integer property that is representing the year that the data is taken from to produce this information in graph. Data structure. The diagram on the right shows the structure of the abstracted data set. The entire data set is a list of dictionaries. Number 1, the listed drug key dictionary value is the dictionary associated with the total key. Number 2, the year key integer value is the state key string values associated with the location key. Limitations. This data set has a number of limitations. Location data is only available at state and country level. The data set doesn't allow us to make claims about individual towns and cities. The illegal drug data set has only illegal drug crimes in 2003, so it does not represent anything before or after the year 2003. Question number 1. The difference in the use of illicit drugs between Tennessee versus Virginia. As you see at the bar graph towards the right, you will see the data shown is the total amount of illicit drug dependency in the states of Virginia and Tennessee the past year. The illicit drug use in Virginia is represented in the graph, reaching just above 12,000, with a grand total of 12,285 individuals. The illicit drug use in Tennessee is represented in the graph, reaching just above mid-1800 person mark, with reaching the grand total of 8,896 individuals the past year. As a result, you can easily see more people in Virginia dependent on drugs the past year than its neighboring state Tennessee, reaching as more than 3,181 individuals in the difference. Question number 2. Where is the relationship between total drug use in Georgia versus Virginia? As you see, look at the bar graph towards the right, you will see the data shown is the amount of listed drug dependency between the ages 12 and 17 in the states of Virginia and Georgia. On the bar chart shows that Virginia is represented with 3,420 teenagers dependent on illicit drugs, as Georgia had about 3,643 teenagers previous year. As a result, Georgia teenagers are shown to be dependent on illicit drugs than Virginia teens, but total didn't have a far gap, only 203 teenagers. Question number 3. On average, what are the uses of drug worse in Tennessee, Georgia, or Virginia? Number 3. And the bar chart on the right represents the data from total illicit drug use in those three states, Virginia, Tennessee, and Georgia. As stated, Virginia dependency totals reach up to 12,285. Also, Tennessee dependencies totals reach up to a total of 8,896. Finally, Georgia has reached high numbers of individuals that, dependent on illicit drugs, reach up to the total of 12,775 individuals. Conclusion is that the state with the lowest illicit drug dependency would be Tennessee, then Virginia, and with the highest being Georgia. Social impacts. Some stakeholders would be government, American people, first responders, drug companies, economy, healthcare, health system, criminal justice system. Impacts the safety of the first responders that get to the scene of the crime. Criminal justice system taxing resources at each stage of the arrest, incarceration, and post-release supervision process is one impact. Health system and care are impacted. The amount of hospital visits, more non-insurance visits, and more overdose (OD) patients. Economy is impacted by more amount of money is going to illicit drugs than going to buy something that is legal that will actually help your life. Conflicts/pressure. The rush to break down on drug wars, which you turn into more funding for these agencies that are there to stop it from growing. More hospitals will go private so that they don't have to serve an individual if they don't have a insurance. So it will cut down emergency room time and amounts of unpaid bills from individuals that don't pay. Honor code. I have neither given or received unauthorized assistance on this assignment. Carter Foster.